Hello, here is another video for the playlist. It's a similar thing. The exercises in this vocal technique warm-up are not going to be radically different from anything else you've seen from me. Please forgive some of the quality of these recordings. They were actually done live into our then Facebook group. If you'll forgive those few things, I hope you'll find some real value in the content. Okay, there will be more, but for the next half an hour or so, enjoy what's coming. Thanks very much. Bye for now. Hello and good morning to you. I am now, it's right bang on 11 o'clock, so I'm going to get underway with my usual kind of couple of minutes talking us into the right frame of mind, and that's for me as well as you. So let's start off. We're going to just center our thoughts a little bit on how we are sitting or standing. And I want you to, just check that point of balance. Always take a moment. So whether you are sitting or standing, just take a moment to really focus on that feeling of, am I balanced? Okay. You want to have this feeling of total ease, so that with each exercise that we do this morning, you are not aware of any movement forward, okay, or any kind of desire to elevate the head via the neck here, which is this feeling of let's try to cultivate that idea of being truly grounded. And I know that there are some elements of meditation that make you think about your feet on the ground, which makes me want to turn my stool so I've got my feet on the ground. Okay, so you're thinking about grounding yourself, okay, not raising yourself up to the point this is really kind of like tense. All right, so let's just start with the breathing. Okay, so now we've got ourselves all kind of balanced. Hold air out. And then just take a nice lot of air in. And then out again. And then out again. In again, sorry. Okay, this time we're going to try the pressurized. Okay, so here we go. Air in. Okay, now from this point of poise, when you do the breathing exercise like that, I really do want you to concentrate and think about the moment of release in the middle, okay? The moment of release in the middle, so that you are really focusing on that feeling of replenishing what's gone, okay? And then at the end of the exercise, when you've finished, don't give in to that feeling of having finished too soon. Really have that moment's thought and poise before you allow the air back in. Okay? All right? So the breathing exercise is really worth doing still. Just make sure you're thinking about your balance and whether you're grounded, and also the way in which you recover after the exercise is finished. All right. So next, let's do some I can hear the baby upstairs. I've got Jessica staying. I can hear the baby crying away up there. Okay, so let's try some, we won't do lip trills straight away because I think we're focusing much more on the jaw and stuff. Let's do some sirening. So we're going to start here. And we're going to do the slightly longer exercise this time because I want you to really feel that the breath you're using, you're trying to engage the body over a longer period of time. So we've got slightly more complicated, but it starts on the fifth, and you're going to let the air in, and it goes one is joined. Okay, so we're going to do a sequence, and what I want you to be aware of is letting the jaw completely just hang. Don't push it down. You're just getting that gormless feel. Okay, that's what you're after. You really don't want any kind of feeling of pushing the jaw down, so just very natural. Here we go, just do a sequence. Okay, I might not do them all with you because I've still got this kind of slight irritated airway, which means when the air goes in, it makes me cough. So if I stop suddenly, you carry on. I'll keep changing the key. Okay, I'll try and do it with you. All right, so just check your balance. Letting the air in now, and we're starting on this note. Here we go, ready? Take a breath in sequence. Take a breath in sequence. Last one. Now that's a top G. Now, a couple of things in here. Yes, you're going to be thinking about your poise, but did you hear me say the words between a couple of the exercises to think of breathing in sequence? What I meant by that was that the breath you take is part of the rhythm of the thing. So although we're creeping up and I'm putting in the chords, I want you physically to wait until just the right moment before you allow. What happens is because the tongue is hard up against the soft palate, as you allow the air in over your tongue through your mouth, of course, the contact between the soft palate and the tongue relaxes for a moment, and you can actually almost hear a little, I don't know if you can pick it up, but listen. Almost that kind of glottis kind of opening. Okay, can you see if you can access that? It's like glugging almost. So between exercises, you've just done and then the key changes, and then you think, and I can hear inside my head this kind of, the moment that drops away and the glottis relaxes and opens and the air goes in before the vocal folds come back, ready to do the next siren. Okay, so that would be something to focus on a little bit, because we know that sirening is really good because it kind of collects together all of the things that we have to have in place to make a good sound. Right, that's why it's the 5th exercise in my 5 essential vocal exercises. It's number 5 because you have to know a little bit about posture, the balance idea. You have to know about the breathing, which is why we do that. We do lip trills, but sometimes that's just to activate and energize people. Okay, and then we have things like the onset, which is also very important, but this is the moment, because you're getting everything ready. And then finally the sirening. That's why it's the 5th exercise. So when you start a warm-up and do some sirening, again, a bit like the lip trills, sirening is kind of like ticking all those boxes and making sure you're really establishing good voice production, the moment where you actually get onset, breathing, posture, all correct. Okay, so you can truly start every single warm-up, and even if you only did sirening for, say, for 5 minutes, and that's all you had time for, that would be great, because you can practice all those things. All right, so why don't we just do a few more of these sirenings to this pattern in sequence, so you get a chance to feel that moment of breath release and the air going in, the glottis opening, and then you're into the next one. All right, so let's try. I'm not going to go down as low as we did before. We're going to start on middle C this time, okay? But actually your starting note will be the 5th, which is a G, and it goes... Breathe, okay? It's a little bit like meditating, I feel. When you really get in that groove and you're listening to your body and you're feeling that you're kind of anticipating what's going to happen next, you kind of give over your concerns and your worries to just the physical repetition and correct placing. So that is really worth doing during the week, especially if you're a bit stressed out, not much time. Because how do we build this into songs and repertoire? It's that kind of discipline in between phrases of knowing how to deal with when to let the air in, how to get prepared, you know? So when we're doing sirening and exercises like this, where we're principally thinking about the rhythm, the poise, the, what's the word I'm looking for? The kind of, yes, the intrinsic inbuilt rhythm is that you are literally teaching your body how to respond, okay? So when you're doing your sirening or your breathing and you're thinking of doing the actual deed, don't forget to also think about the moments between and how you respond, okay? So that's what we're focusing on this week, to help you with the breathing, to help you with the balance, and to help you just rely on the fact that if you get these things ticked, these little boxes ticked, and you're continuing to sing Se ben crudele, but with the total feeling of balance and readiness for the next phrase, okay, and you know what the words are and what's coming, then you know you're on a winning ticket, because it'll all gradually fall into place, as I think you're finding. Okay, right, so let's do another exercise where we can employ the same thing. All right, you know what I'm going to suggest. We haven't done this one actually for a little while, and unlike the scale exercise where it takes us up to 9 notes quite quickly, this one builds slowly, okay? So this will give you a chance with each vowel and the way you're responding to kind of just glide. You've got the two sides of your brain which govern and organize and drive different processes when we are singing, okay? So you have to know what the vowels are when they're coming, but principally you are focusing on the sensation, the feeling, okay? That concentration is very, very different to thinking about what vowels are coming, okay? We have to know what they are, but principally once we get going, you're thinking of the real deal, the whole thing. So we're going to start on A below middle C. Now this will require, again, poise and balance, So once you get yourself sorted, you've got your tuning fork during the week maybe, or if you're going to do it with this, all right, what you're doing is you get yourself an idea of pitch. You don't rush into the beginning. Get yourself poised and balanced, and then you allow the air in. Here we go, together. Take a breath. Up to top G. A couple of things in there. Did you notice that I was trying to make you wait before you took a breath? There is that moment at the end of one exercise where you hold what you've got, the poise bit, and then you release. Okay, now that's because you're trying to kind of train those muscles and their response. So it's these muscles down here as opposed to this going up here. Okay, so you're trying to train that kind of idea that if you just release that contraction, which is all happening down here, that the whole mechanism, the air, you open the glottis and in will rush all the air that you need, and it will be just the right amount that you need for the next bit, because it's a bit like a kind of balancing act where when you get really skilled at knowing how much breath you're going to need, you just take it and you make it last. Okay, so that's a really worthwhile exercise to do. A couple of things to note is that towards the top, you've got to really home in on that feeling of being grounded. You're not creeping up with it, but actually you are keeping everything, your foundation, the same. And you just are going to absolutely have faith in the fact that your larynx, which is what this shape is, by the way, okay, knows how to do that tilty thing, which then affords a slightly bit of a stretch on the old vocal folds, which just facilitates those slightly higher stretches, if you like, think about it like that. But we also have, that's the larynx, the top bit as well, which has movement available to it. And part of the agility thing and getting those upper notes is just appreciating that as soon as you constrict and stop any tilting, you completely cut out any possibility of getting those higher notes. So you have to maintain your foundation to keep that airflow going to the source of the sound and really trust that everything is going to keep working. Keep it the same. So that kind of exercise really helps you to hang on to that idea. Okay, and the other thing, final thing with that exercise and all the exercises is that in the bit where you are recovering and preparing for the next one, just check how you are preparing, so that imagine you're singing a song to an audience. You don't want the audience to be at all aware of anything you are technically trying to do. So no contortions of the face, for example. So the way in which we take or allow the air in should be one that is completely compatible with your face. I know that sounds really odd, but you know, sometimes people have really weird mannerisms when they take or allow air in, you know, and it's distracting. So again, this is where the mirror work comes in. You're checking to see what your normal response would be, because what we want to do is just have a relax. Okay, so now we're going to do another exercise. How are we doing on time? All right, another exercise. Again, starting on A below middle C, because I want to keep working up through that lower passaggio and up towards the top. And what you should be feeling over time is that your understanding of your passaggio in tandem with the way in which you support your voice, and you're thinking about not interfering, that the passaggio gradually becomes less of a problem, because you're starting to understand the finer intricacies of what is going wrong when the passaggio hits. Okay, so we're starting on A below middle C. This time we're going to do the 9-note scale. I think what key I'm in, I'm not looking. All right, so we're going to start there. All right, again, same idea, grounding, feet on the floor, feeling that your feet are well planted in the sand, let's imagine, but the rest of you is moving up and out and sideways, so you're really supporting those core muscles all the time. I mean, this is a great body workout. You know, really, truly, singing is fantastic therapy for people who need to strengthen those inner muscles, you know, because to do it really well, take all the emphasis off this bit and put it all in your control of your core muscles and awareness. All right, so this time we're going to just keep the vowel sequence fairly easy, because I'm asking you to think about a lot. So let's just make a little list. Okay, before we get started, you are trying to remain poised. You are not going to gasp for breath at the end of each one. You are going to wait and allow. So during that poise bit, you're going to actually just gather your thoughts and then just release that thing that's going on in there. Okay, it's like when you hold your breath, the glottis shuts. Just try holding your breath. And then release it. And you feel as soon as you release it, the air comes in, doesn't it? I think so. So that's what you're trying to do in between each one. You are also trying to allow the pitch to go up and down without going up or down with it. You're just remaining only thinking about maintaining your airflow. And as you get to the top, you're going to imagine just that little tiny tilt is happening with the larynx. It won't be very much, and you can't actually make it happen. You just got to make sure you're out of the way and allowing it to happen, because that's why it's important to know about things like how the jaw, the tongue, and the larynx are all interconnected via the hyoid bone. You can't do anything about them. It's great to know about them. That's why it explains like it's spaghetti junction in there, why we have to try and remain as out of the way and in control as possible. This is our control box down here where we are. Okay, so let's try this exercise, the 9-note scale, exactly in sequence. We'll just keep going, and I'm wanting you to focus on all those things. All right, here we go. Are you ready? Are you kind of comfy, grounded, poised, like the way you think you look? It's easy for me because I can see me in this. All right, which is a little bit alarming. So here we go. You're just going to take a moment to get yourself organized. Hold air out. Here we go. Breathing in, 9-note scale, beginning on E. Okay, here we go. E, Okay, how did you get on? Just put my glasses on. We're just coming to the end now of our vocal warm-up this morning. Quite detailed, quite simple, but you can apply everything that we are talking about this morning to anything else that you do in a vocal warm-up. The ultimate idea with a warm-up is that you are revisiting, you're creating, you are confirming those little neurons and their pathway to making more connections for the, so you are actually over time, you're going through, remember neuroplasticity? I'm going to keep going on about it. There is a fantastic talk, a TED talk on YouTube about neuroplasticity and how we learn. And that's where I took all the information about it for my infographic, which is in the group somewhere. So at the moment, if you're really beginning to learn a craft, a skill, you are definitely at the chemical stage where every time you learn, your brain is kind of producing all of this information, and it's all kind of a bit haphazard. Okay, but then if you do it enough, you then move into the structure phase, which is where you've done it enough, and so you get on and you more or less know what you're doing because those neurons are actually making the pathways and they remember. But what tends to happen is unless you keep doing it enough, frequently, or however actually regularly, as long as you keep revisiting it, eventually the chemical becomes structure and then becomes function, and that's where you really can just sit down, open your mouth, and out it comes. Okay, you don't have to think about all those things. And it's really important that whenever you do a warm-up, you're just correcting yourself, and there's no magic answer. It's about looking at yourself, judging what you think you are not doing, and then being constructive in the way in which you deal with it. And usually the answer is very simple. Like I said before, think about the small stuff. Consider it, the breathing thing, how you let the air in, how poised am I? Is my body completely grounded? Am I beautiful to look at when I'm singing? Do I have any funny little mannerisms? Am I really waiting to the end of when the opportunity to breathe, wait, poise, and then allow the air in so that you're not, so it's a real well-oiled machine that you're trying to get going. Okay, it's like finding a rusty old car in someone's garage and then over a period of time working on all the parts and everything and making them all in good working order. So eventually you'll be able to take it out on trips. That's a really great analogy, don't you think? Okay, so don't be dissuaded. Okay, just be really gentle on yourselves and keep doing the good work. Okay, bye for now, everybody, and thank you so much for all your hard work and your fortitude. Okay, bye for now.